previous video, we actually looked at knowing the sides of a right angle triangle when we have angles in it. We looked at the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, and we looked on the adjacent and the opposite sides, which were relative to angles. So now what we're going to be looking on is the trig ratios that comes from this. Trigonometric ratios. Trig ratios, it is always said that we could just use this SOH CAH TOA. Many persons use that to remember the ratios of the trigs. For example, the S here stands for the sine, O is for opposite, and the H is for hypotenuse. So this is basically saying that the sine of an angle, and we're not talking the right angle triangle, not talking the right angle, should say, because this only works with right angle triangle. So we're referring to the other angles, not the right angle. So sine of the other angles is equal to, the ratio of it is equal to the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse side. We're going to prove that. The cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side, and the tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Alright, so using this triangle, we're just going to look at the fact that we just want to see if it is really so. Alright, because we have a standard 1, 2, root 3 triangle, 60, 30 triangle. We could test to see if the sine and cosine and tangent of various angles would have produced the ratio of the sides that they say here. So you could take your calculators out, make sure it is on degree, and we will test this momentarily. Alright, let's look at the first one. Alright, so let's look at sine. So we're saying sine of an angle, we could pick an angle. So the sine of 60 degrees is equal to, in this case, opposite over the hypotenuse. So if this is the 60 degrees, the opposite side to this will be across from it based on what we did in the last video. So it's going to be the root of 3 over the hypotenuse side, which is the longest side, which is 2. So basically what we're saying now, if you should take your calculator out and then put in these values. Alright, for example, the sine of 60 degrees on your calculator, we would get 0.8660. And if we have the root of 3 divided by 2, we'd realize that, hey, this is true. We have 8.8660. So we could test that one out quickly and see that the sine of 60 degrees is really root 3 over 2. So the sine of 60 really says opposite side over the adjacent side, over the hypotenuse side, which is a value of 0.8660. Alright, let's quickly look at another one. Alright, let us say we're looking at the cosine of an angle. So it says the cosine of an angle, and I'm going to still use that 60 degrees, is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side. The adjacent side to the 60 degrees, based on what we did in the previous video, will be 1. And the hypotenuse side is standard 2 right now. So it's 1 over 2. If you go on your calculator and you plug in cosine of 60 degrees, we will get 0.5. And one half is also 0.5. So here you have it. So we're looking back at the fact that these really work. The cosine of 60 degrees is really 0.5. Using our triangle here, what we're doing is looking at the ratio, because a ratio is a rational number, you could see, where we're saying the cosine of 60 would be 1 to 2, meaning a half, okay? Let's look at the last one, the tangent of an angle. Using that triangle still, the tangent of the same 60 degrees is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side, TOA. Opposite side over the adjacent side. So 60 degrees is here. Alright, let me write it back properly. 60 degrees. Tangent of this is going to be root 3, which is the opposite side. So it's the root of 3 divided by the adjacent side along the side, which is 1. So the root of 3 over 1, which is just the root of 3. If you put this on your calculator, you would get 1.732. Alright? And so the root of 3 is equal to 1.732. Alright? So what you could do is to go ahead now and check with using the cosine, sine, and tangent of 30 degrees and see if you get back the ratios there. Alright, thank you for watching.